The Orion spacecraft for Artemis 1 is on the move, critical hardware for Artemis 2 is delivered, and a new telescope to study
from here before. Hello, testing one, two, three. Testing. No. Okay, there. Okay, desktop audio. Why is that happening? Okay, broadcasting from a different place, and we're getting a lot of different response. Hello, testing one, two, three. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. I don't know why this echo is in here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm going to go straight to the pre-recorded stuff and see if that comes through better.
The Orion spacecraft for Artemis 1 is on the move, critical hardware for Artemis 2 is delivered, and a new telescope to study our Milky Way. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA. Engineers at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida moved the Orion spacecraft for our Artemis 1 mission from the Launch Abort System facility to the Vehicle Assembly Building. Then Orion was placed on top of the Space Launch System or SLS rocket and joined the other flight hardware already stacked and ready for the upcoming Artemis 1 mission. Artemis 1 will be an uncrewed flight test of Orion and the SLS as an integrated system ahead of crewed flights to the Moon. Under Artemis, NASA aims to land the first woman and first person of color on the Moon and establish sustainable lunar exploration in preparation for eventual human missions to Mars. Teams in Germany that helped build the Orion spacecraft's European Service Module, or ESM, for our Artemis 2 mission recently prepared it for travel to our Kennedy Space Center. The ESM stores Orion's propulsion, thermal control, electrical power, and critical life support systems. Orion arrived safely at Kennedy and was transferred to the Neil A. Armstrong Operations and Checkout Facility to be integrated with other Artemis 2 hardware. Artemis 2 will be Orion's first spaceflight around the Moon and back with astronauts. NASA has selected a proposal for a new gamma-ray space telescope called the Compton Spectrometer and Imager, or COSI, that will study the recent history of star birth, star death, and the formation of chemical elements in the Milky Way. Out of 18 telescope proposals that our Astrophysics Explorers program received in 2019, COSI is the only one selected to continue into development. It is expected to launch in 2025.
Undocking confirmed. Soyuz MS-18 is now free of the International Space Station.
On October 17th, a Russian Soyuz spacecraft carrying cosmonaut Oleg Novitsky of Roscosmos and Russian actress Yulia Peresild and producer-director Klim Shipenko landed safely in Kazakhstan just hours after leaving the International Space Station. The 7 people remaining on board the station include NASA's Shane Kimbrough, Megan MacArthur, and Mark Vandehei. The station is scheduled to get 4 more occupants later this month with the arrival of our SpaceX Crew 3 mission, currently targeted for launch on October 31st. On October 22nd, a Russian Progress supply spacecraft that had undocked from the space station's Poisk module 2 days earlier redocked, this time to the station's recently installed Nauka multipurpose laboratory module. The maneuver provided an opportunity to test and check out systems in the new module that are used for orientation control of the station. NASA is sharing OpenET, a powerful new web-based platform that uses publicly available data to help those who rely on water resources across the drought-stricken western U.S. OpenET measures evapotranspiration, the combined process by which water is transferred to the atmosphere through evaporation of surface water on land and transpiration of moisture from plants. The tool puts NASA data into the hands of farmers, water managers, conservation groups, and others to accelerate improvements and innovations in water management. On October 19th, we held a ceremony at Ellington Field near our Johnson Space Center in Houston to name the hangar there that houses the agency's T-38 astronaut training jets after late astronaut John Young. Young was a member of NASA's second astronaut class known as the New Nine. He walked on the Moon during Apollo 16, commanded the first space shuttle mission, and became the first person to launch into space 7 times, 6 from Earth and once from the surface of the Moon. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/twan.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Louis George Walker on KUAW Radio. And as you're listening to the BFTAA and More show, today we have a special guest in the house. You know, we try to bring you people that are doing positive things in the community, for the community. And that's what we're about. This is local radio that's broadcast to the world. So I was running across the Black Business page on Facebook and saw a young man that him and his wife was actually starting or had started a new nonprofit in Kansas City, and it had a good name. And I thought this is something we need to talk about with the community. So I'll let him introduce himself, and then we'll find out a little bit about it. So would you go ahead and introduce yourself to our Kansas City audience?
Yes. My name is Andre Harris. I am co-founder along with my wife Nikita Harris of DAC, Dads Against Crime.
All right, Dads Against Crime. And how long has that organization been around?
We became a legal non-for-profit of January 6th of 2021.
Oh, okay. So you're relatively new in the game. So tell me a
Yes,
little bit about yourself. Are you Kansas City native or where are you from?
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, born and raised. I moved out for about 7 years, but I came back. So I'm from here, born and raised. My mom and daddy from here, along with my 15 brothers and sisters.
Wow, 15
Yeah,
brothers and sisters. So
yes,
you had a pretty good sized family.
yes, sir.
I bet you that was something at the dinner table.
We didn't have a dinner table. Everybody just got their meals and ate where you can eat.
See, I heard that. 15 brothers, so you don't hear about families that big. So what school did you go to?
I went to Northeast. I went to Chester Anderson, went to Genesis, and then when I moved out of town, I went to Leesville in KUAW, Missouri, and then
Okay.
I went to Lakeland in Blackburn, Missouri.
Okay. So you've been moving around just a little bit around there, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, are you married?
Yes, I'm married to my beautiful and lovely wife, Nikita Harris. We've been married. We just celebrated our 6-year anniversary, October the 11th. So
Very
yeah,
good. Very good. 6 years and stuff. What about children?
I got 5.
You got
So I
5.
have a yes, I have a 14-year-old, I have a 10-year-old, I have a 6-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, and I have a 2-year-old.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. That'll
yeah.
keep you busy right there too.
But
So
I ain't having no more. That's our limit. It's over. It's over.
that's a pretty good amount. That's a pretty good amount of stuff.
Yes, sir.
So the name of your program again, or your 501c3 is what?
Dads Against Crime.
Dads Against Crime. So what made you
Yes,
want to
sir.
start that organization?
So me and my wife, we started coming up with the concept of it. We didn't know it was going to turn into a non-for-profit. June 29th of 2020, when 4-year-old legend Tyler Farrell was murdered in his home. I kind of seen how all the attention was being given to Legend's mama, and I know Legend's mom. She's a great girl, and and so my heart went out to his dad. I was like, why ain't nobody giving any attention to the dad? And so after meeting Ralph Talaferro, realizing that he's a great guy, he wasn't a rah-rah, shoot 'em up kind of dude, hardworking man, and it was just a real sad, unfortunate event that took the life of his child. So I went home and I told my wife, I said, honey, we have to create something for dads who lose a child to gun violence or have a child who survived any kind of violence. And so we sat down, we came up with a couple names. DAC, Dads Against Crime, is what we landed on. Then we did the uh, the logo, and then we just started going from there.
Okay. So y'all formed this. What type of services do you offer to people?
Awesome. We offer 4 services. The first service that we offer free therapy for all men from a licensed therapist. His name is Roderick Williams. He has his undergrad in psychology. He has his degree in biblical counseling, going back next year for his master in biblical counseling. And we offer counseling. We believe that with at least 20 sections, we believe I'm I'm an advocate of counseling. I had counseling before. Counseling really does work. And so we believe 20 sections is just a good starting point. The first 5 sections, the guy who's getting counseling is really just trying to get to know his therapist, what his therapist is about. And then the other 15 sections, they can really get to work. If they need more than 20 sections, DAC will pay for that. The therapy can be for a lifetime if they need it. The second service that we offer is we offer job placements. Our job placements are not job leads. When we send a guy to the job, or if the guy fill out the application, he already has the job. It's guaranteed. If he comes through organization for DAC, and we put him at a job, he got the job. It's not an if he's going to get hired. He might get hired. He will get hired. That's a guarantee.
Okay.
And then another service that we offer is we offer a mentorship. Mentorship is basically just a lifetime commitment on DAC's end we didn't just want to be one of those non-for-profits that may help the guy get the job and then leave him alone. We wanted to make sure that we can help him get the job. We wanted to make sure that we can help him keep the job. And then we want to be able to make sure that we can keep him on the right path throughout his life. We don't just want to get him the job and then leave him alone. We want to walk through him. We want to walk through life with him. And so that's our mentorship. It's a lifetime commitment on our end to that man, or until he say he don't need us anymore. Then we'll let him go. And then the fourth service that we offer is felony expungements. We have a lawyer. His name is David Elwers. He's been doing law for about 40 to 50 years, and he's really good at what he does. And so he partnership with DAC in order to help us be able to get man's felony expunged. I don't think a lot of men, especially in the inner city, truly understand how much a felony hurts you. I try to go back and buy a house. And when I did, they asked me, was I a felon? And I said, yes, but what does that have to do with it? And they told me, well, some people don't want felons in their neighborhood. And then I try to go back to school, and they asked me, was I a felon? And I said, yes. And they said, well, we don't want felons at our school. And so I went, and Stacey Shaw is my lawyer. I paid her $2,000 to get the felony off my record. And while I was sitting in the office with Stacey Shaw, I realized that most men in the inner city don't got $2,000 to give to a lawyer to get this felony off his record. And so I told my wife about it. My wife said, why don't we do it? And I said, okay. So we found the lawyer to do it for us,
Now that sounds great and stuff. So you and your wife, y'all started this. Now, did y'all have any experience in this, or is this something that was just placed on your heart?
It was just something that was placed on my heart. I think that's a good thing about God, is that you don't need no experience. If you go with what He put on your heart and how He leads you, He'll take care of everything else. He'll provide for everything else. We was linked with great people, Freedom Fire Urban Ministries. So we was linked with great I-58KC ministry. So we was linked with great people to just come alongside of us, great organizations to come alongside of us and really help us to be able to become a nonprofit and all of that. So we've been really blessed in this all because of God.
And that's really good stuff. I know I'd heard that Les Brown say one time that God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies those that He calls. And
Yes, sir.
you're
Yes, sir.
an example of that type of work. So it sounds like you have a helpmate that is working with you, and that is always a good thing to have. If you can have somebody that's working with you on things like this, when you have that type of idea or passion that's been put upon you. So now, are you doing this full time, or do you have a regular job, or is your wife working? How are y'all doing this?
I'm doing this full time. This is I always been a giver, and I came from that street life. I lived that life for 10 years, and so I got a heart for men, and I got a heart for men in general, and and so doing this full time is actually beneficial because I'm free more. I'm able to do more stuff for men, and so I'm doing it full time, and I'm enjoying it to the fullest. And my heart has always been to help, and God just used that as a means to help out as many people as many men as possible as we can. So yeah, this is where I get my joy and my fulfillment from.
Okay, so now you've been doing this for almost 2 years, I guess, or going towards it. Do you have about how many clients have you served so far? How many men do you have involved in the program at this time?
That's crazy. Right now we actually we don't have a program. We're gonna build a program, but that's probably 6 months to a year out. And we're going to build a program where men can come through and then they can graduate after 6 months, and then we'll kind of make that felony expungement because it take about 6 months to get for the expungement to go through all the database to have it off your record. So we figure like that expungement will be like a graduation present for them, and we'll do it twice a year. So right now, what we do is men just come. So we allow them to use the service how they see fit. So
Okay.
if a man come to me, we don't just mess with men in the inner city. We're counseling a guy who uh, very educated. He's very educated, got a great job, but he just need therapy. And so we kind of let them choose and we let them pick at the moment. So if he comes to me and he need therapy, we get the therapy for him. If he need a job, we get the job for him. He need a mentor, we get the mentor for him. And if he just need his felony expunge, we get that for him too. So it's basically they just pick and choose the services that they need, and we take care of them.
Well, now that sounds pretty good. It sounds like it's definitely worthwhile. So I
Yes,
applaud you
yes.
for doing that stuff. That is a good thing right there. So,
Thank you, thank you.
so how have you been funding this so far? How are you making a living, or are people donating, or they heard about you, or what's going
Yeah,
on that way? Because we know it does take money to do this. Some people do so much
yeah.
pro bono, but sometimes we all got to eat.
Yeah. So right now, I've been blessed. I've been blessed. One of the things that God has always taught me is that I'm not one of them like guys who just want to stand still. So I do stuff. So like I create shirts and then we sell shirts to bring funding in, so we can make sure that we can cover these men. We partnership with Krispy Kreme, and we sell donuts to make sure that we can get money in to help these men out. And then we're surviving also by private donations. And we're just getting in the field of we got a grant writer now, so now we're getting in the field of having a professional person write grants for us. And we got our business plan, and so yeah, that's how we moving. So eventually we'll move into getting grants from corporations, but right now we're surviving off of private donations and selling shirts and selling donuts.
Hey,
Hey,
ain't nothing wrong
we
with
just got
that.
to do what we do for now. So that's
Ain't
what we're
nothing
doing.
wrong with that. Some of the best organizations, I think Bethune-Cookman College got started. They were selling pies
Yes,
to
sir.
get that started. So,
Yes, sir.
however you do it, if you've got that passion to do something and God's put it on your heart, then as it says, He'll make a way.
Yes,
He'll
sir.
make a
Amen.
way. There's always room for His blessings to come in. So, yeah,
Yes,
if you've
sir.
got the heart for it and you're putting in the work, then that's going to be the good thing that's coming your way. So,
Yes, sir.
it's good that you've been able to get, because I think when you talked at first, the first thing that y'all do is being able to find that counseling, because sometimes
Yes.
in the inner city, people don't realize that there's a stigma about going to get counseling. Are you crazy, or something like
Yeah.
that? But that's not necessarily a down thing, because sometimes you just need that help in getting some things straightened out in your head.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, especially the stigma is so vague in the urban community, especially with Black people. And I just give you a story. My mama passed away in 2018, but I remember my brother used to tell my mama, that he heard voices, and that the voices in his head was telling him to do bad things. And I can remember my mama used to tell him like, "Oh boy, be quiet. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You're just trying to get attention." And then when he grew up, kind of find out he was bipolar and schizophrenic. But at that time, it was too late because he got arrested for murder. And
Oh my
he
goodness.
actually in jail for murder right now, and he's trying to get out. But he gave basically 20 years to the system. And just imagine the help that. Just imagine the road that he could have took if he would have been believed. So the stigma in the Black community is that ain't nothing wrong with you. Whatever, men, we're not supposed to show emotions. We're not supposed to show feelings. It's a sign of weakness. And at DAC, we just want to break that. At DAC, we're saying, man, it's okay for you to cry. It's okay to show your emotions, because expressing your emotions is how you stop from harming a person, right? So, and then what they don't understand is that when you tell a little boy, oh, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to show emotions, and then what he does is he bottled them emotions up and he don't show them, right? And then he can't connect with his wife, or he can't connect with his girlfriend because he don't know how to express his emotion. His girlfriend or his wife is asking him like, "What's wrong with you? Why you don't know how to open up?" Because girls are taught to express their emotion, boys are taught to hold them in, and so that's why a young boy can grow up and he can go out there and he can kill a child and he can go sleep at night because he don't know how to express his emotions, right? And so that's how we get these cold-hearted killers. And at DAC, we just want to break that. We want to say, bruh, let us help you. We're trying to build a brotherhood to say, man, let us help you and walk through life. If a brother called me at 2 o'clock in the morning, he tell me he felt like this the end of his life, then I'm getting out the bed and I'm going to go talk to that brother wherever he at until he feel better. That's what we're building, a brotherhood at DAC, not just helping them by getting them a job and then letting them go. Nah, it's so much. DAC is so much more than that. We want to carve crime too, and we feel like one of the ways that you do that is because so many times we get on camera and we get on TV and we tell these people, we tell these dudes, hey, stop killing, stop shooting, stop doing crime. But you would never tell a crackhead to stop doing crack, or tell a meth head to stop smoking. Now what you do is you take that crackhead or you take that meth head, and what you do is you replace those bad habits with good habits, and then you get them counseling, and then you put them in a different environment, and then you get people there alone that can walk with them, that can help them, so they don't backslid. And I think that's what we got to do in the inner city. We got to stop telling them to just stop the crime, and we got to say we stand against it, and that's why we do Dads Against Crime, and we won't change our name. We won't change it because we do stand against all crime, even petty theft. But we're saying we're one of the organizations that's saying, look, brother, we stand against what you're doing, but here, let us help you do something better, and let us show you how to be better.
So yeah, you're not just talking about you need to be in jail or something like that. Is that we've got to find solutions to the problem, because one thing
Yes,
we
sir.
found out is just locking people up isn't the answer. I mean, there's sometimes you got to pay for your crimes. That's true, but at the
Yeah.
same time, though, we've got to have a mindset, or you got to help a person to learn how to live. How to
Yes,
live a
sir.
different way. And just like what you said there, is that yeah, you don't just tell people, well, just stop committing a crime. Well,
Yes.
that don't work for everybody. Is that maybe you got to show them how
No,
to
sir.
apply for a job, how to get the counseling that they need. There may be some deep rooted thing going on, as you said with your brother. May
Yes,
have a
sir.
mental problem that, if
Yes.
addressed early, could maybe be treated in some way and stuff. So yes, that I think is a big important thing that we've got to do in our community, and not just say, well, we've got to lock them up, or y'all got to just stop doing this. It's like we've got to be out there to lend that hand. So yeah, I think that
Yes,
that
sir.
crime, there's definitely a place for you in Kansas City. I hope that you continue to
Amen.
develop this program, because it
Yes.
sounds
Yes.
very worthwhile and stuff, because that's
Yes.
what it takes. It takes everybody in the community. It's not just mothers. It's got to be dads. It's got to be uncles and brothers. It's got to be
Yes.
everybody that helps make the change.
Yes.
We can't kick the can down and say, well, if their dad would have been there, it'd been all right. If their mom would have just been there. No, we all got to be there. But
Amen.
it definitely
Amen.
sounds like a great thing. And I tell you what, I want to stay in touch with you. KUAW Radio, we want to stay in touch with you. If you got an event coming up, if you got something that you want to get out to the public, definitely give us a call. But we want to reach out maybe
Yes.
3 months, once a quarter or something, get an update on how things are
Yes.
going, and what the needs are. Now, you
Yes.
say you get funds from friends. Is there a way that people can donate to you? Do you have a cash app? Do you have
Yes.
anything like that set up?
Yes. So our cash app is Dads Against Crime. Just $ Dads Against Crime. Our PayPal account is at Dads Against Crime. So if y'all want to donate, give, y'all can go there. You can also find out on our Facebook page. how you can send checks in, because I really don't know the PO box. And you can go check out our website, dadsagainstcrime.org. And we're always looking for mentors to help men. We're also we got one lawyer, but if we can find some lawyers that can do it for free, pro bono work to help us get more men felony expunged, we're always accept that too. So any way you feel like you can help, just go to the website. You can fill out your information form on our page, and all that information gets sent to us, and then I'll call you within a day or two. Absolutely, and see how we can work.
So professional clinicians, people that can handle the psychiatric part or the counseling part, lawyers that can handle the legal part. So you're looking for anybody that wants to give back to the community and volunteer some assistance to men that can use it to get.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And Dads Against Crime. That's your Facebook and your web page. You're on all of that.
Yes, sir.
I think that is very good and definitely something worthwhile. I'm glad that you took the time that we were able to connect and that we can get this out, because that's what it is. You asked me what the KUAW stands for.
Yes, sir.
It is in there, and I said, it stands for knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. And that's what we're about. So for Kansas City, and not just Kansas City, for those of you around the world, I know I've got relatives that watch this in Houston and in California. We also are getting calls back, or we get people that watch overseas. We even had one guy who got contacted from Vietnam after he did a show. So it's worldwide that we're out there. And this isn't just a Kansas City problem either. So, Dads Against Crime is something that you may want to start in Minneapolis, you may want to start in Seattle or Tacoma, get in contact with them, because I know a lot of communities across the country are facing some of the same issues.
Yeah, that's crazy that you said that. Our plan is after 5 years, after we get solidly established in Kansas City, then we want to leave here and we want to go to Chicago, because it's pretty bad in Chicago, and we want to put a chapter of DAC there. When we get established in Chicago, we want to leave there. We want to go to California, and we want to put one in Compton. We're going to leave Compton and go to New York and put one in the Bronx or put one in Harlem. And we basically want to put a chapter in all 50 states. Wherever it's bad at, wherever the crime rate is high at, that's where we want to put it, because in Kansas City alone, if you commit a murder, you got a 75% chance of getting away with it. Dads Against Crime just want to drop that to like 30, to where you got a 70% chance of getting caught for a murder. You're going to think twice before you do it. And that's our goal. You carve the crime by helping the person and giving the person who's committing the crime a job, so you don't got to go out there and rob and steal.
Yes, that's definitely a good point. So for those of you that when you watch this, if you do want to get in touch with us, you can still hit us up on Facebook when you're watching this. If you watch it on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, whatever KUAW is on, still put comments and contacts in there. This is a pre-recorded show that we're doing right now, but if you want to get in touch with them, reach out to KUAW. We can definitely forward any information on that you hear about on there. So just get in touch with them, and that's what we want to do. Now, is there anything else you want to bring, or any shout-outs you want to give to anybody?
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Nelfa Ramsey, a return to Earth, and something spicy. Here's what happened this week aboard the International Space Station.
Best friend, so that wouldn't be it without her.
Confirmed.
Shout out to her.
During the early morning hours on October 17th, Russian cosmonaut Oleg Novitsky, along with Russian actress Yulia Parasil.
Shout out to my backbone.
All right, so Nikita, that's a shout out to you and stuff, and that's a sign of a wise man right there and stuff.
Amen.
If you've got the right helpmate with you, then you're gonna go a lot farther than any other time and stuff. My wife happens to be right down here with me. She's always ready to put you. She's got my back, so that's what you need to do and stuff. But we're so glad to have you in, and want you to tell your friends to tune in to KUAW Radio. We have shows like this that go on all the time. What we're trying to do is get information about Kansas City to Kansas Cityans, and also information of what we're doing good and great in Kansas City to the world. because it's not all bad. It's not all doom and gloom. And we don't always hear that on the news. We don't hear enough about what fathers are doing or what men are doing to try and get things together. This is some of the stuff that you're going to hear on KUAW radio, and we're going to keep it up. So, Mr. Andre Harris, we want to thank you, and we want to thank Dads Against Crime for showing up that.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you a lot, and we'll be, like I said, we'll stay in touch. So I'm gonna bring this young man back from time to time so that we can continue to hear some of the good things that he's doing. Yeah, you're doing it, man. You're doing it, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so that's it for KUAW. Be sure to tune in to the BFTAA and More show. We're on every Monday from 5 to 5:45, and then it's on Facebook and YouTube and our playlist. You can always put these stories back up. So check us out, BFTAA and More. And our special thanks go out to Andre Harris and Nikita for Dads Against Crime. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, and welcome to a view of the International Space Station Flight Control Room at NASA's Johnson Space Center. You're watching the flight control team members as they keep an eye on the space station systems and stand by to work with the Expedition 65 crew members on science research and station maintenance. The station crew members got a new commander this week, and then 3 new crewmates who arrived in a Soyuz spacecraft. 2 of them there on a commercial contract with plans to shoot scenes for a movie.
Houston Station on Space to Ground.
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Kayla LaFrance. There's a lot of change on board the ISS, with new crews arriving and others preparing to leave.
Tomaya, you've been an amazing crewmate, and you're going to be a superb commander. So congratulations.
On Monday, October 4th, European astronaut KUAW Pesquet took command of the space station from Japanese astronaut Aki Hoshide in the traditional change of command ceremony. Pesquet became the 4th European astronaut to command the ISS and the first French astronaut to hold the position. Pesquet will remain as the commander of the orbiting laboratory until November, where he will pass the command role over to cosmonaut Anton Skaplerov before he returns with his Crew 2 crewmates. Then on Tuesday, the crew on board the space station welcomed 3 new crewmates when the hatches opened for the latest mission to the orbiting lab.
Engines at maximum thrust, fuel and tower separation, liftoff.
3.5 hours after its launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, the Soyuz MS-19 cruise ship successfully docked at the station's Razvet module. Veteran cosmonaut Anton Skaplerov, on his 4th flight into space, commanded the spacecraft and was joined by Russian spaceflight participants who are making their first flights into space. They will spend 12 days on the space station, filming segments for a movie titled Challenge, under a commercial agreement between Roscosmos and Moscow-based media entities. Last week, NASA and SpaceX set the launch date for the 3rd commercial crew spaceflight aboard a Crew Dragon spacecraft. NASA's SpaceX Crew 3 mission will carry NASA astronauts Raja Chari, Tom Marshburn, and Caleb Barron, as well as European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer, aboard a Crew Dragon spacecraft on a Falcon 9 rocket to the space station. The mission is scheduled to launch no earlier than Saturday, October 30th, from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Be sure to follow along on NASA TV, nasa.gov, or the NASA app as we share pre-launch interviews and briefings leading up to our full live coverage of launch and subsequent docking. And that's Space to Ground for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
1, 2, 3, Expedition 65!
Recently, the space station crew woke up another flying robot to add it to the fleet of them being tested to see if they can do simple tasks that will help humans in space. Astronaut Chris Cassidy demonstrates the flying robots being developed by NASA's Ames Research Center.
The unique thing about this particular one on the right docking station, it goes in upside down.
We had a little bit of technical difficulty getting this started.